This one is the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10
at their own 23. Watson off play action. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now a first down throw, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, but sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
They go up the middle with Chubb, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
The stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I look at this from the offense's point of view.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Nick Chubb with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end and come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Drake. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Tackle made at the 16-yard line. That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Off the play fake, here's Jackson.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Ravens still looking for that first win, 0-6 to start the year. And really, it's just sort of been one thing after another, Charles.
It certainly has, and they're one of those teams that while all teams talk about starting fast, that's like, topic 1, this team never has. That's been an issue for them all season long. And because of that, they've never been able to catch up during games.
Jackson now. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The first scoring update now from Carolina, and the Bucs are out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. First down, Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They give to Chubb out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out and ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 27. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down. York able to send this one through. So that, Charles, a season long, and since he's a rookie, I guess we can go ahead and call that a career long as well.
I love how you put that together because, you know, so everyone at home was saying, okay, has to be career, right, since he's a rookie. Well done by you, but I definitely like what I've seen from him so far this year. Very distinguished college career. He's looking right at home here in the NFL.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Second and 5 now. Jackson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Hey, middle.
To throw is Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. This time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Play action. Now Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week. Took him all the way to the second quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After 1 quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought, hey, we've got this. Oh, no, you don't. You've got to come up with another plan, more looks, maybe even more bodies to keep him out of the backfield.
And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. Now the defense going to use the 1st of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches?
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
throwing now. Jackson on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They go play action now. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore. He'll look to throw. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 2nd and 9, Watson. Oh, fires this one downfield for Chubb. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start the drive with Drake. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And some room to roam now. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson gonna let one fly for Robinson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Myles Garrett, the All-Pro, in on the tackle.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
They go play action with Jackson. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Greg Newsome.
There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
This taken in at the goal line.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit.
Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal.
And surprisingly, they take a knee. I have no idea why they would take a knee, but they take a knee.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards?
And down to a knee. That's one way to call a play.
Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Play action. It's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Browns are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's the pickup of 3, which brings up 2nd and 7.
We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. Felton. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Right back to him on first down. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, Evans looking for space. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Evans. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
I look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
13.
Now it's Jackson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Up the middle they go. Felton. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. A give up the middle to Evans. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this fourth down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, Jackson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. Now the ball comes loose. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And as this defense walks on